Okay, so let's begin with some questions on sadhanas, also from the audience here. So please.
Tamala, can you pause it?
Thank you, Rinpoche. I have a question about Samaya. During the Ninjik Yapshi, it is said that if you keep the Samayas, you can be enlightened even in one lifetime. Or
6 months.
Okay. Or maximum 7. So what are these Samayas that we're supposed to keep?
Okay, before I answer you this, I need to tell you this. When the masters say you need to keep the samayas, the masters, if they are good master, they know very well you will break them. Because not because you are devious and you have some plotting going on, just because you just don't have the ability. Moment you think somebody smells, you are breaking samayas. I mean bad or good, actually both. Moment you have a concept, you are breaking samayas. Moment you think I want to achieve enlightenment, you are breaking samayas, actually, from the highest point of view. But it all got sort of essentialized into having a pure perception towards the path and the guru and oneself, and if you can extend to the phenomena and the Vajra, brothers and sisters. This is something that I wanted to tell you. Okay. Nyingtik Yapshi is an exclusive Mahasandhi teaching. So their understanding of the Samaya is a little bit exclusive and little bit controversial to tell you also, but since you asked, I think it's important. And I'm going to say this, and don't go too bananas, okay? But this is something you need to know. And I said this actually right at the beginning of the Nyingti Yapshi teaching. Usually we, the Buddhists, when we flaunt our system, our school, our lineage, our teachings, one of the biggest things that we wave to others, say, that we are the reason-oriented path. We believe in logic. We believe in things like cause and effect, right? We believe in reasoning. In the Mahasandhi, getting trapped by the reasoning and the cause and the getting trapped by this sensibility of cause and effect. And if you are adamant about it, if you are so fascist about cause and effect, you are breaking the samaya. And so this is difficult to understand because so many people got into trouble. The Garab Dorji, the Brahi Vajra himself, and also Vimala Mitra, they got accused by the Buddhists by saying these guys are teaching Jundele Deviche, meaning the path that is contradictory to the belief in cause and effect. So some people may even accuse such path as a non-Buddhist. But you need to bear in mind, even in the Theravada level, if you are going through anatta, if you are talking about anatta, you can't really talk about cause and effect, because selflessness, timelessness, the shunyata, emptiness, right? So therefore, actually, the Mahasanti's approach is very, very reasonable, very reasonable. Actually, it makes sense. I myself for 30 years, I was so proud that, you know, the reason, I studied Brahmana many years. Many of these campus, they're like the expert in Brahmana. Tema, they love it. They are so proud that they know. They can really debate well. But since your specific question is regarding the Nyingti Gyabshi, I have to answer you this way. Okay?
Hello, Rinpoche. Uh, I just wanted to ask you, yesterday you were saying something about, when we want to practice a particular deity, we are attracting them just like we are attracting a partner. Does the same kind of logic apply for sadhanas as well? Because there doesn't seem to be any graded path that which sadhana you will kind of get empowerments for, or is there a graded path for, okay, first you have to do this?
There are some sadhanas that requires that, because grade and steps are something that human beings also like. Most probably, I would say, if you look at the Buddhist history in Tibet, most probably the concept of doing wonder may have not existed before 12th century. I don't think so. But as the time goes by, people like, okay, how much should I do it? What should I do it? 100,000. Because it's a goal. It helps. I would still encourage you to do it. If you have 100,000 mantra or a prostration, it really drives you. So any methods like this is important. So yes, there is a Upanikrama grade, then the Sampanikrama, and then the most, sort of excelled Sampanikrama. Yes. 12th century, maybe even 17th century, I would say. But that doesn't mean that there was no practice of refugee bodhicitta and all of that. I'm talking about numbers. Okay? This need to be upgraded, I feel. Wait, just a little bit. So actually, the idea of practice, I think we need to sort of pay some attention to something called what we call chö dup, practice dharma. I've been telling to many of my close students, friends, I would like to almost hear when people come and say, oh, I finished this much mantra, this much prostrations, this much ngondro. But then there are also some people who come and say, I feel I'm really wasting time. I'm getting old. I'm really not practicing Dharma. I just can't even begin. I'm procrastinating. I know I have to practice. I'm almost preferring this one because I think something is bugging them. And this bugging is so important. Okay.
Thank you, Rinpoche. I'm actually a beginning practitioner, that's why maybe my question might seem a tiny bit kindergarten level, but maybe high school. But actually, that's what I'm experiencing quite regularly. That's why I'm very worried about the answer. So sometimes it happens that I face aggression, I face some negative emotion towards myself, and I'm not quite sure about what kind of reaction should I develop, both inner and outer, because from my little understanding in Mahayana, we try to develop a mind of bodhicitta, but what should be the attention of tantrikas?
You mean the aggression, did you say?
As a reaction to like aggression, for example, someone kicked me in the queue, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Some of these questions have ready-made answers. I'm going to give you the ready-made answers, and they're really good. This one, straight coming from Jamgon Kongtu Lodothai. I used to remember even the name of the text and the page and all of that, but I forgot. It's a beautiful text, short one. When there is an aggression, you can apply the whole yanas, Sharvakayana, Mahayana, and the Tantrayana together, or one by one. Maybe one by one, better. So, when you are hit by an aggression or a desire or whatever emotion, then Jamgon Kongtrul suggests Pang, Jur, She. 3 method. Pang, Jur, She. Pang means abandon. So anger comes. Then you think, oh, anger is not good. It's going to get me into trouble, get other people into trouble. Anger's done so much damage in the world. Anger has done this and that. Whole Sharvakayana and, both also in the Mahayana, Bodhisattva, there is. So you should do that. That is not good. And that's the pang, abandon. Seeing the badness, the negativity of the aggression. Then, after that, jur. Well, jur means transform. That has so many ways to transform. I think the easiest, may all sentient beings' aggression come to me. Take it all. Okay? May all sentient beings' aggression come to me. I think there's another way though. That's a Mahayana practice. Then the last one, the Tantrayana, when the aggression comes, just watch the aggression. Don't ask why, when, how, whether it's reasonable or not, no judgment, just watch. Just watch. So that's one method. Okay. Another method, this is exclusive Tantrayana, especially Anuyoga Tantra. If there's an aggression, then your aggression and cause of the aggression, whatever, somebody kicking you, and the guru put it in a blender. And the blender is your channels and chakras or whatever, and then blend it. That's it. Okay, any more? Yeah, whoever has the mic.
Yesterday, Rinpoche did the Heart Sutra. Now, in the Heart Sutra, there is a line. The line says that if those who do this practice will overcome fear,
Yes.
and that means all fear.
Yes.
Then later it says, not the Heart Sutra, but it's been said that if, I'm going to read this, okay? If your guru has the view of emptiness, he will be karma fearing. Okay? So now one says, overcome fear.
Oh, yeah.
The other says
Okay,
karma fearing.
No problem.
So is it karma fearing or is it karma kind of hugging,
Really good. Very good. This is good. I guess, okay. In the Heart Sutra, I think the line is Changchu Sempa namla thopa me bichirwa, takpa me dose, thopa me bichirwa. Kitsi chasang chiteng. Because the bodhisattvas have nothing to gain, shunyata. Therefore, the bodhisattvas have no fear, nothing to lose. I think we talked about, no fear of being rejected and all of that, fear of missing out and so on and so forth. That's what it is talking about. So, but the second one is interesting. The second one, when in the Heart Sutra, they are talking about like Avalokiteshvara kind of bodhisattva. The second one, we are talking about good gurus, but kind of not that small time also, but quite a good gurus. And I need to emphasize this. This is very important. Emptiness and karma, emptiness, those who understand emptiness, right, will have a fear of karma. Such an important statement, this one. Because real understanding of the karma is a real understanding of shunyata. These two are very, very, very connected. If you take out the shunyata from the context of karma, then you will have that problem. If everything is pure like a gold, when did the first ignorance arise? So then you need to provide me your first great-grandfather. Then you have to tell me which one came first, chicken or egg. One of them. You have no choice, but you have to. But because everything is like a chicken and egg, therefore the master understands shunyata. Everything. It's not just chicken and egg that has no, definite which one came first. Between you and me, also same. We don't know which one came first. According to the Chittamata school, they say we came together. The moment you know that I exist, I exist. So, understanding the emptiness, many Khenpos, the masters, they have told me this, teaching the karma is the most difficult because whenever we teach karma, it leads the students to think that something actually does exist, because we are talking about fertilizer, the seed, the plowing, and then the rice shoot happens. You understand? That's how we present karma: cause, condition, no obstacles, guaranteed result. But what we need to always not forget is the all together. Nagarjuna did a great job on this. For instance, Nagarjuna insists, saying there is no such thing as a primordial cause. Because whatever the cause that you are providing is, or happen to be, also the result of another cause. So there is no primordial cause. So those who understand this, masters, not the highest, quite good though, they have understood the shunyata on this level. Everything is an illusion. Oh, back to my example of nap, Starbucks coffee. That's it. Master who understands this dimension is very fearful of the logic of the illusion. It will really stain you and bog you down. Yes, we know you only took nap for 5 minutes, but you could be ordering a Starbucks coffee for 3 eons. And you will go through all the pain, ups and downs. even though in reality it's just a 5-minute nap. That's what it is talking about. Okay, now we take a break. I can always go on and on telling you all the details of color, attributes, appearance of the deities, what they each mean, the history behind, many of the history behind this symbolism. There's so many different stories. There are some of the, if you like, I don't know whether we should even namthar, because it's something quite good. We use the word story, legend, but the Tibetans actually call it namthar. Also quite a profound word. Instead of saying yes to something like Cinderella and the seven dwarf, right? That they may call dung, dung. Dung means, story. But anything to do with the sublime beings, their life, they don't call it dung. They call it namthar. Something quite, and I've never really paid much attention before, but now paying a little attention is such a good decision to call it, such a good way to understand. So they call it namthar. Namthar means, I guess, liberation. So they called the epic or the episode of the life of the sublime beings the account of liberation. Quite profound, I think. So for instance, I could tell you okay, why is green Tara green? There's a story about how Nagarjuna and some other Pandita, desperate, totally, disillusioned by the worldly life, devastated by the fear of death, devastated by the uncertainty of life, so on and so forth, just ran, no option, don't know what to do. So ran inside the forest of sandalwood, Singding, we call it. Singding Nach Dharma, we call it. So in there, green lady appeared, and that changed the whole perspective, that there is a hope, there's a liberation, there's an access, there's an exit, there's a, solution. I mean, you can all do whatever you want. She may be really green. Or it may be just sunlight hitting the leaves of the sandalwood and, green color. We even call sometimes green tara singding majidurma, meaning, I don't know, how do you translate that? The girl or the lady from the forest of sandalwood. So I can go on and on tell you all this, and I want to tell you this symbolism matters. Where's our French friends? I'm sure there are a lot of French friends here. The French people will know this. Oh, there we go, the French. So, Jonathan, do you know Roland Barthes? Barthes? Right? Is Sudeep? Where's Sudeep? Isn't he here? Okay, Roland Barthes is a French. Is he? They put a lot of, such a important symbolism. Wow, symbol really, really matters. So in one way, every symbolism in the Vajrayana should not be ignored, cannot be really just dismissed as a cultural thing. I want to tell you that. Yes, there are a lot of cultural things, such as I would suspect things like washing feet water. That does sound like an Indian. But like a curved knife, Trishula, the three-spoke sort of trident. Very important symbolism. For the tantrikas, aspiring tantrikas, you should really guard by all means. I'm not saying you should get the symbolism and collect it in your living room. I'm just saying you should really guard it by understanding and appreciating the symbolism. I was just reading about this bindi, the Indian ladies put here. What a profound symbolism, that one. It's just incredible. So sadhana also has full of that, but of course I should tell you there's a lot of culture that's involved. Anyway, whatever you do, keep in mind the wisdom and method, don't lose that. At the end, symbol is just a symbol. It's not the end. It's just the means. At the same time, means are important. Keep this. I'm also such a, what do you call it? I feel, many times I feel also good when I appreciate the symbolism. For instance, I read in one of the Mahasandhi texts that once you expound Mahasandhi teachings to people, you should feel that it's like you should act like the mighty emperor who has just won mother of all the battles. You should eat like the emperor. You should dress like the emperor. You should behave like one. And symbolically, you should also put on something what mortal human beings call ornament. So if you are sort of thinking, why I'm wearing this, that's what's happening. I like this kind of thing. I'm always moved by this kind of thing. When I went to South India long time ago as a tourist, I stayed in a Airbnb. This is a really good story. And the owner is always concerned whether I have switched off the light or not. So it costs money, and of course, he's so good. He said, but more than money, he said, it's bad for ecology. Of course, I don't know whether he's, but anyway, he really made me switch off the light. This he asks all the time. Morning, when I go in, he asks this. When I come, switch light. Like that. Stayed in a house, beautiful house, old, family. old, sort of. And every evening, there's this floor, very clean floor in a veranda. Every evening, one of the family members draws Kali with like a chalk, or almost like a sand powder mandala. Whole Kali Devi on the floor. Takes about 2-3 hours. After that, they put some flowers and then they do the incense and they have this diya, the light. And after that, they just dismantle it. And they said that they've never stopped doing it for 3-4 generations. And that's their practice. Things like this symbolism practice, it moves me. So even though it's not really in the Tibetan tradition, I've always wanted to ask our own, tantric practitioners, maybe something like this we should do. A Tara practitioner, if you don't like reading sadhanas, how about drawing a Tara by sand powder or a chalk every day? 2 hours it takes, It's as boring and as tough as reading sadhana. And then after doing it, make offerings, homage, obeisance, wipe it out. Sadhana. I'm just telling you what the sadhana is. Sadhana is really not just reading few pages. Sadhana is really getting used to, especially in the Anuyoga Tantra, sadhana is getting used to myself being the deity. If you are a Dorje Trolle practitioner, and if you happen to, I'm especially addressing this to the beer boys. I have noticed that the beer boys' obsession is riding on bike. This is a new one, I don't know. I haven't noticed this before. I think it's better than sniffing plants. I'm suggesting if you happen to ride a bike, sometimes if you think the bike is a tiger and then you are Guru Rinpoche, I will sort of quietly tell you this is okay, this is good. In the traditional sense, maybe it's a little bit too much, but as long as something reminds you the deity, and the deity being the luminosity and shunyata, right? So whenever you are being reminded with whatever tools, reminders, that's sadhana. When you are comfortable thinking, when you are comfortable with this innate deity, then that's called drupthop. Drupthop and drupthop. Drupthop being the sadhana, drupthop mahasiddha, not really mahasiddha, I should siddha. Ordinary siddha is fine. If you, in the very crude language, comfortable with your body, comfortable with your speech, comfortable with your mind. That is yoga. Yoga? Now the yoga, the moment the word yoga is uttered, you are thinking about asana and the yoga mat and Bali and Goa. But yoga is basically, well, if you can't chew the solid food, yet I would interpret yoga as a practice of balancing, not only body is actually the least important, balancing your prana and balancing your mind. But if you have achieved this ability to chew the solid, then the interpretation of yoga is different. Yoga, null, jor, null, null. The word, the null, has something to do with the absolute or the real deal, the real thing. Jor is basically empowering or owning, possessing, owning, equipped it with. So when a person is equipped it, or when a person can own and what do you call it? Own the null, the real deal, the nature. Then it's like this. Confidence, okay, so like this is water. I can tell you confidently, totally with a confidence, I will, this is water and this is wet. I can tell you confidently. I will have no second thoughts. I will have nothing to hide. When I say this is water and this is wet, I don't have to sort of second, check, confirm. I don't need to second verify. I don't need anybody to verify with. This is what yogi or the yoga, I'm talking about the yoga because it's kind of important in the sadhana. Yoga is so really confident with the real thing, like in the real, this is water, this is real. So I have no problem to tell you this is water. So a yogi is someone who has really understood the real deal of whatever the phenomena. Well, real deal, let's begin with anicca, dukkha, anatta. Yes, it looks like it's permanent, but it isn't. And when the yogi knows this, yogi is confident. The yogi is confident in the fact that it is impermanent. And based on that, there's so much courage, so much confidence. Even if the yogi has to lie at times, oh, it's permanent, but inside the yogi knows it's impermanent. He will confidently tell you lies because he knows it's actually not. So he will know this is prank. This is a, diversion. That's yoga, real yoga. So sadhana also, sometimes we call it, especially in the Sakya and Kagyupa tradition, the word yoga is very much used. For instance, those who are practicing Vajrayogini in the Sakya tradition, they use the term yoga. So they have I forgot now, 11 yogas or something. It's like the whole 24 hours practice. Waking up yoga, sleeping yoga, eating yoga, like that. But it's all relating with the phenomena with their true nature is the yoga. The moment you are not relating with them, then it's a bit like, I don't know, it's a bit like if I ask Raghav, you know Raghav? I'm sure you cannot miss. It's a very giant phenomena. If not I ask, actually, if Raghav pretend to be a woman going round, he will always be looking behind. Not because unsure, not confident, because you know you are doing the imposter, not true. So how we relate to the world, you have no confidence because you only have vague ideas. And on top of that, you have wrong ideas. How? All the impermanent things, you think they are permanent. All the dukkhas, you think them as a sukhas. All the things that are anatta or, illusion, you think as real. So you have no confidence. All the confidence and seemingly confidence that you have is just a show, and you know that very well, and just sort of bogs you down. So this is sort of I think quite a good, quite not good, I would say, but generalized introduction to Upanikrama, more the Upanikrama. Tomorrow we will talk about the sadhana speech still, but more on the Sampanikrama aspect, sort of the resolution and the shunyata. But big part of this you have already heard, but I will still repeat and point out. Because it is the part of the sadhana. So anyway, Upanikrama or Sampanikrama, always, it's good to dedicate. Again, even the dedication, one can have it with a tantric attitude of dedication. You can, more than non-tantric is, I want to give my merit to all the sentient beings so that they will be awakened. The tantric is something like, I'm quoting, I will quote now, Tedda Lingpa, which is a great master of Nyingmapa. Nangda Riksum Ha Chupinga, Tindirapta Nidi. Kudang Yishirapa Jamlebe, Sapsang Nanjurshim bin Yamlela, Yerme Tuji Tili Rochik Show. This is a grand dedication from the master called Tedda Lingpa, great Mindroling master. By the way, he said this and he passed into the Parinirvana. He said this and then he ended. I think correct way of putting is Zukikopa Ingsubdu, such a beautiful word. It's like he said that, and then for the time being, it sounds like it has that feeling for the time being, because there's the show, the curtain, and then the next show. So this show is over. So for the time being, the curtain is drawn. That's the attitude he gives you. And then, of course, the ongoing great mindling manifestations. Anyway, Nangda Riksum Hanga Chugin, it's very difficult to translate. Nangda Riksum Hanga Chugin, Nangda, all the appearance, sound, thoughts, all as deity, mantra, and Dharmakaya. They are all nothing but a different angle or display of kayas and jhanas. Now there's one word which is almost impossible to translate. Jamlepe. Not jamlepe. Jamle. I don't know how to translate this. There are some really good translators. Please ask them. But it has something to do. How is it translated? Jamle. All pervaded. Okay. I will give you I will not translate, but I will sort of give you the image or the feeling. I will try. It's something like this. You have a big mirror, and then in the mirror, there's a reflection of a ice cream and a reflection of a shit. Okay, you are looking at the reflection, and then you are looking at the shit and you feel disgusted. You are looking at the reflection of the ice cream and you are famished. How I don't know, what's the word? How silly is that, okay? Because both ice cream, the good ice cream and the bad, the shit, are equally just a reflection. Oh, this example has so much. The base, the mirror, doesn't even know there is a reflection going on him or on whatever. That is how the great Dada Lingpa sees things. So, death, the baddie, the, what do you call it, antagonist, the birth, the, what do you call it, protagonist, the goodie, the baddie, all reflecting in the mirror of the Dharmakaya, whatever, the state. But he knows there's an audience, so he feels obliged to sometimes open the curtain and sometimes close the curtain. So he says, he draws the curtain by saying, may all sentient beings are also reflection in that, including himself and including so-called the merit that you are dedicating, all just like a reflection. That's how the Tantrikas would dedicate. Okay, that's it.